NFL Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube and YouTube TV, which means that you can stay close to your team even if you don't live in their town. Like, maybe you're a Raven who married a Seahawk who got a job in the land of the Falcons. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your team's out-of-market Sunday afternoon games no matter where you live, because you shouldn't have to change teams even if you change towns. NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. Go to youtube.com/presale to get $50 off.
Terms and embargoes apply. Offer ends 9/19. No refund. Subscription auto renews.
This is the House of Hockey podcast on the Hockey Podcast Network. Hockey is more than a game. It's a lifestyle. It's you, the diehard supportive fans, your favorite players who are on the team you cheer for, and the organization who supports them.
The companies that make your gear, bags, and beer league sweaters. The hockey moms and hockey dads, and everything else that makes this House of Hockey your home. Come on in. I'm Breezy.
And I'm Rae.
And this is our house.
Welcome to the House of Hockey podcast. What am I doing? We're going to restart this. I told you, I feel really weird today. Okay. 3, 2, welcome to the House of Hockey podcast, episode 131. I'm one of your hosts, Breezy.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
That's your name? That you're doing what we need to.
Is it
I'm
my
your
name?
other host, Rae.
Did I say Rae?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you didn't. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, thank God. Whew. Gotta drink more coffee over here. Back
Yeah.
to the early days.
Back to the morning recordings. No late night, no like fully awake Breezy for you today.
Kind of.
Which is okay.
No, not really.
You're awake.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
awake.
awake. I had to wake up at 6 o'clock this morning to go take care of my brother's cats.
Oh boy.
One of them has diabetes, so I have to give it a shot at 7 a.m.
Oh.
and 7 p.m. But it's okay. He's fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
He is. Just treats and food and shots.
Well, I'm home from New Orleans. I'm repping New Orleans today in this knockoff Rolling Stone version of a New Orleans shirt. I, of course, bought like a bunch of souvenirs that I didn't really need, but just I love that city so much, and it means so much to me. And it's such a good reminder of just how I was when I lived there, and just, I love it. I've got a special place in my heart for that city. Sorry, there's something in my eye. And Breezy's rocking her Griswold Blackhawks jersey.
I am. But I'm going to be honest with you. I have my Kings jersey or my Kings shirt on underneath this. So for any of you who think I'm now converted to a Blackhawks fan, that is not true. I only support them because of Rae. But this is a Griswold jersey.
Yeah.
Because it's like
okay.
the episode before Christmas. So
yeah,
on brand.
It's very appropriate.
Thank you.
Let's start with, you have a story for me, and then we can get into hockey stuff.
I do have a story for you. So
okay.
I got a message from one of our friends of the pod.
Yeah.
And I told her that I was going to share this with you on camera so we can get your reaction, because you're going to freak the F out.
No.
One of our friends Chris at All Tyler's Fault got another puck.
It's not fair.
She said, don't tell Rae, but I got another puck. And I was like, I got to tell her. She's going to freak out. She's going to get so mad.
Fair. When is it going to be my turn?
I was thinking about sending you a...
Here, and Tony, Marsha.
For real. I was going to send you a bag of pucks for Christmas, like kind of like a bag of coal, but that would be very heavy.
It would be. But
so
also,
thought that counts.
If you had, that would have really made me laugh, though. Like, anybody who wants to send me a game puck that they've gotten that they don't care about, especially if it has Blackhawks logo on it, send it my way. I would be happy to take it and add to the one puck I have behind me, which I purchased at the Blackhawks store. So doesn't count.
Hey,
but
that's okay.
Apologies. There's
good.
Literally something stabbing me in the eye, and I don't know what it is. Okay.
Oh, all right. We're back.
Well, yeah, that's just lovely. Great for Chris. She's now got like 20 pucks that she's been given from players across the league. Cool. How many does Ray have? Ray is still at 0.
It's okay.
It's
It'll be
just
your
my
turn
fate.
soon, Marcia.
Thanks,
You're
Mrs.
welcome.
Brady.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what's happening in our world, right? All these other people are doing great things, getting
they are.
pucks.
Getting
I'm
pucks.
just surviving. I'm getting ready for a holiday party with some girlfriends tonight. I made cake balls. I'm making a take on pigs in a blanket. So I'm doing Polish kielbasa with
Mhm.
wrapped in the crescent roll dough, but
Mhm.
sprinkled with everything but the bagel seasoning.
Oh,
And I
that'll
did
be
cake
good.
balls. I did yellow cake chocolate frosting and then dipped in semi-sweet chocolate. And I sprinkled it with these like white pearly balls because we
Ooh,
can never have enough balls, apparently.
apparently. Fancy.
And Tony approved. She said they were very good.
Oh, good. Did you see that you can take like the little Debbie's cakes, like, like the Christmas trees, and you just like smush those together and they make cake balls? Like,
Yeah.
you just smush them. That's easy though.
Yeah.
That's like a cheat. You can't do that.
Yeah. That's like, yeah. And
And those are
those are
really
not good.
sweet. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're not good.
No.
Let's hit it with the hockey talk. What do you think?
Yeah, so we're not stats people here, but I was listening to
Wait
Alex
a second.
Faust.
That was my first thought when I looked at our like rundown. I was like, what is all this stats stuff? I'm like, we don't talk stats, but like, all right, we're gonna talk stats.
Dude, this week I was like, I don't know what was wrong with me this week. I don't know. I was all over the place and I was like, I'm just gonna put this in there and I'm just gonna go for it. And then I like started like getting really anxious about it because I was so excited. And then now I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done this, but we're gonna do it. So
Okay.
I was listening to Alex Faust, the LA Kings broadcaster, and he was announcing the game in Buffalo, and he had said that the Buffalo Sabres were one of the best offensive teams this season, and I was like, what?
Hmm?
So I decided to do some research, and so I found some research, and I thought it was super interesting. So the best 5 offensive teams thus far this season are the Buffalo Sabres, the Boston Bruins, Tampa Bay Lightning, Dallas Stars, and Edmonton Oilers. Which a couple of those in there, I thought, well, often I guess Buffalo and Dallas were like my number one, like, whoa, strange, right?
Hold on a second. I'm really distracted by what's on your TV. Are you watching Birds?
Oh, sorry, that's Home Alone. I should probably turn that
Oh,
off.
I was like, are you watching the birds? I can't. There's just like all I see is like flying. Got it. No, it's okay. You can leave it on.
Okay.
I now I
Okay.
know what's happening. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
I'm
where
shocked
were
about
we?
Buffalo as well.
Right?
And
Right?
Dallas. Well, we've seen obviously this is a turn
Yeah.
of events from Dallas for this season that I don't think anybody
Mhm.
predicted would be the case, but they've found their groove. They've got their new coaching in there. It seems like they've made a big turn.
Yeah, but
I think,
Buffalo being above Boston, it
yeah,
was shocking to me, and I was like, I got to share that info because I don't know if a lot of people know that, and if they do, well, I'm late to the party. So, moving on. And the
probably only
best,
Buffalo fans know that.
yeah, yeah, and the
And
best
Alex
five
Faust.
and Alex Faust, yeah, best 5 defensive teams this season. Obviously Boston, Toronto, New Jersey, Carolina, and Winnipeg. Now we've been talking about why Jersey is doing well. And I think it's a common thing that people go where it's like, do you have to have good offense or defense to be a good team? And a lot of people think that being, having a good defensive lineup will help you win a cup, which can't argue that. Super interesting to see that Boston has the best offensive and defensive, lines going on. So could this be telling for what's going to continue on postseason?
I don't know. I'd love to see. I mean, there's only one team that has both the best
Mhm.
offensive and defensive, which is Boston, which you just said. But
Right.
New Jersey has been out of control with their season, and
Mhm.
they're not even on the best offensive team, but
Right.
they've won
Mhm.
like the most games, I think, consecutively thus far of the season. So
Right.
does that mean like therefore they are better? Like how do
Yeah.
you compare that? But I mean, I'm playing through all of those cheesy sayings in my head right now. Like the best
Yeah.
offense is a good defense, the best defense
Mhm.
is a good offense.
Right.
Which one is it? Does it matter? Is this really mean nothing? Because in the game of hockey, it's actually just about health and longevity and stamina and endurance that gets you a Stanley Cup. Because like I would argue that probably matters more in the long run,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
you could have the best offense right now, but if your top player on your line, like if you lose a stammer, you're in trouble, right?
Right.
In the long haul to try to make it to a Stanley Cup, if that's how we're going
Right.
to assess this.
Yeah.
So,
And then look at it where Toronto has sucked defensively for a while, and they're the best on the defense side. And compared to offense, right? Like
yeah,
Mitch Marner
you
and
think,
Austin Matthews, like what's happening? What's going
yeah,
on?
like you would think Toronto would have a better offense on this
Yeah.
list.
Right. Yeah. So I thought those were interesting. I know we're not stats
Carolina.
people, but like I thought it was interesting to share that info.
It'll be interesting to circle back to this like at the All-Star break and
Yeah.
see where the teams are at that point and
Yeah.
see if there's
Let's do
any
it.
change. I think we need to remember to do that.
Yeah, I will.
You
Mental
will?
note.
Okay, good.
I'm pretty good. I've got a memory like an elephant. I'll do it.
You do. I'm here and there. It's here and there. I have to commit it to memory or else I won't remember it.
Yeah.
Like actually commit it to memory.
Yeah. But another
The long
interesting
term.
thing, speaking of Boston Bruins, again, watching the game versus the Kings, the Bruins haven't lost a game at home in regulation time.
Wow.
It's always been, in either shootout or overtime. Again, really interesting.
Home crowd really brings it. I mean, I can attest to that, having just gone to a game there. That home crowd energy, the fans are fully engaged this season. I mean, they always are, but they're extra engaged because they're doing really
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
And we've talked about the Bruins. They have sort of a magical. I'm sorry, Ringo's sitting under Antoni's chair and she almost kicked him because she didn't know when he got scared, and it's okay. And I'm an overprotective mother. What else is new? So the it's a hot mess over here. What do you want from me, guys? I'm back home. 1 minute I'm running to get my Uber Eats down in the hotel. I got shit Wi-Fi. Next, I've got dogs and cats, and the other dog is just stalking the cat under the couch, staring. So I'm waiting for that moment to strike.
Okay.
The Bruins have it. The Bruins have something special. If they can stay healthy and keep this going, which I think they can based on what I've seen in person, they've got a
Mhm.
great long postseason ahead of them.
Yeah.
Who won the game? The Kings or the Bruins?
The Kings. The Kings won it in overtime, and it was super awesome because Trevor Moore had just signed a 5-year extension that morning in the hotel, and then he was the OT winner. Actually, no, sorry, he was the shootout winner. So,
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. It's exciting
Yeah.
for both teams. I mean, if the Kings are giving the Bruins a little bit of a run for their money, that's
Right.
exciting too. The Kings might not be
Exactly.
on one of these lists. Obviously, the Blackhawks are not making any of these lists anytime soon. So we're just going to leave that over there on the corner.
Sometimes you don't
But
have to be on the list though. Sometimes you can just kind of come up from behind. And I think that's the coolest thing about this game is things change so quickly. I mean, look at how the top teams have changed so much since the first, month of playing to now. So
Ovi, I'm going to let you geek out on Ovi and all of his accomplishments because I'm sort of like over it. I'm sort of over it. Like it's great and it's amazing and
mhm.
oh, yay. But like it's just one record after the next where it just is kind of like falling flat on me, where it's like every day there is a record that he is breaking at this point, which is very exciting. Like, cool, but also like, okay. Add it to the list.
Yeah, I get that. He obviously,
but I can say that because he's not on my team and I don't care that much.
Yeah, and you're probably a little bit bitter that he scored 3 goals against the Blackhawks to get his whatever numbers, 800, 799, 798, whatever.
You're welcome.
So yeah.
Oh, you're welcome.
So obviously he scored 3 goals in Chicago. I'm just going to say it again just to make you mad. To get to his 800 mark. He was congratulated by Kane, Taze, and Domi just from what I saw. I didn't watch the game, but those are just in the highlights. And then Ovi's son asked how he scored 3 goals in Chicago, and his response was, "It's my job," which I feel like that's just like an Ovi thing to say. But it was really cool. The NHL did a write-up based on his career, and as Ray just said, it's a laundry list of achievements. I started to like write them down, but then I realized I had to scroll like 12 times to get to the bottom of the list. So basically, we'll include the link to the laundry list of achievements in our blog post later this week, which we've been doing that. So if you guys have checked our blog post, we kind of give you a little bit more information and links to things that we are talking about if you want to hear more about it. So go to that. But basically it goes from his first, when he was drafted, to his first game, his first hat trick, to playing his first game in Russia, cleaning up 4 awards in 1 season, breaking records, scoring massive amounts of goals in like weird ways of how he scored them. I saw that one of the best ones was like he was falling and like sliding on his back and like scored a goal. Wild. So he was carrying Olympic torches, which I looked up the pictures and cool. I was like, you know what? I think we got to share one this week. But the list goes on. But the only list he's not going to be joining is the list of 6 players that have scored a goal against every team. And the only reason why is because he hasn't scored a goal against the Capitals.
Yeah, and so let's hope that he doesn't do that.
Yeah, because then he'd be getting traded, and I don't think he wants to do that. So pretty cool, though, but you don't have to be on the list. That was my whole point of you don't always have to make a list to be great. So
this week's episode of the House of Hockey podcast is brought to you by
hockey fans. Light the lamp this winter with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers can bet just $5 pregame moneyline on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. If that wasn't enough excitement, you could turn small bets into bigger payouts with the same game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at even bigger payouts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code THPN. Bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. That's THPN for the Hockey Podcast Network. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Have you shopped at Pure Hockey? They are America's largest hockey retailer with dozens of stores and the option to shop online. If you or any of your kids play hockey, Pure Hockey is the place to find just about all of your equipment, skates, sticks, gear, bags, jerseys, and accessories. Plus, Pure Hockey is one of our affiliate partners. Next time you break your hockey stick or your kid grows out of his skates, why not check out purehockey.com? While you are looking for hockey equipment, you can also browse around for merchandise from your favorite NHL team, you know who Breezy's and mine are, and make gift giving even easier for your hockey-loving friends and family. And do us a favor, use our special link for purehockey.com when you browse the site and make a purchase, because we'll receive a small commission, which helps me and Breezy create this podcast. Head to the episode's show notes for the special direct link to shop at purehockey.com.
I do have a list of the 6 people who have scored
Yeah.
a goal against every team. Max Pacioretty was the first in NHL history to do so. Now he plays for the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah, I wanted to say Florida Panthers for a second. Carolina Hurricanes. Derek Brassard, which I'm pretty sure he is on the list of the player who has played for the most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Not a stat, but he has played for the Ottawa Senators, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the New York Rangers, the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Florida Panthers, Colorado Avalanche, New York Islanders, Arizona Coyotes, Philadelphia Flyers, and the Edmonton Oilers.
Like, why? What's the story there? Why is that? Like, let's get him on the pod. Like, why on earth would you want to play for so many different teams?
I don't know if he necessarily wants to play for so many different teams, but
that's just how the cards played out for him. I think that's interesting because like I'd love to look more into that and see, was he chasing money? Was he just struggling like with health? Is he just like hard to get along with in the locker room? Like, what is the reason?
Small contracts, like 1-2-year contracts.
That's stressful though. That's stressful as a player to have that. So I mean, it gives you the freedom to
your number
chase.
One player. Like, how many jerseys do you have with his name in your closet?
Right. Like, how many? There's a lot of people, or maybe they were smart enough to be like, definitely not getting a Brassard jersey because he's just gonna leave in a year. Like, I bet his jersey number sales are really low.
Probably.
Across the board, but
yeah.
Phil Kessel's on the list.
Moving on to the list, Phil Kessel, he is now playing for Vegas. Mikhail Granlund, who's on the Preds. Mike Hoffman, who now plays for the Montreal Canadiens. And Milan Lucic, who is on the Flames currently. They've scored a goal against every team in the NHL, so all active teams, which is pretty cool. Like, I know it's kind of like I saw somewhere where it said like that stat's kind of like, it's just whatever, it's a bogus stat, like no one even cares. But like, if you really think about it, like think about being one of those players and like knowing that you have scored a goal against every single active team in the NHL. Like, it's kind of cool.
That's
like cool. Regardless if it like makes like it doesn't, it's unnecessary, like it's whatever, right? But like, that's kind of cool.
I think that's cooler than having a laundry list of achievements. I think that says more about your ability to play, like, as a whole. If you're able to score against every team, that means, okay, I'm sure some of the goals might be like whatever goals, not the greatest ones, right? Or the most interesting or compelling, but still to be able to score against every team, I think that speaks volumes about the quality of the player. And their ability to play both on various teams and to be able to play against and still find a way to score. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Other stat people are screaming at us right now. Like, that doesn't mean shit. You don't know what you're talking about. We're not stats people. We're fans.
Not stats people. And that's probably the best stat you're going to get from us.
You know what? I agree with you. And I love the stats. I love the stat moment here. I love a stat moment from you, Breezy.
Thank you. I'm here all the time.
You're here.
Don't always expect stats out of me.
But what you can expect out of me is complaints about a celebrity getting involved in the NHL. That I'm like, what the hell? Why is this person involved in the NHL? Carly Kloss. Yeah. So she's a model and a St. Louis native, and of course a Blues fan and a quote unquote science nerd. And she's the new host of this season's Science of Blues Hockey. Yeah. It's like some video series the team is doing, and she's interviewing literal doctors. I'm still not entirely sure like what that means. Like, what does that mean? I watched the trailer and it doesn't explain what science are we talking about? Are we talking about players? Are we talking about like velocity and gravity? Are we talking about ice and skate blades? Like, what the hell are we talking about? I have no idea. So like, fail on that, because like you didn't explain to me what I'm getting here, because science is like a big topic. It's so frustrating to me that a person like Carly Kloss just gets handed this like dream job of mine or yours or anybody else who's like in the broadcasting world just because she's a model. And it's like, it pisses me off a little bit.
I could see that.
I know I should just be like happy, like, yay, fellow woman doing something in hockey, growing the sport, hoorah, but it gets me a little bit. Like, it gets me.
It gets you. You know what kind of got me? I listen to music all day, every day, obviously. And I looked over at my Spotify, and there's a new album that's out by, I don't even know how to pronounce her name, SZA, 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 whatever it is. In her album cover, she's wearing a Blues jersey.
Oh.
I was like, why?
Is she from
there? It makes
there?
no sense. I don't know. I didn't do research. I don't know stats.
Like, that I'm okay with.
It's kind of cool, but I was like, why?
That I support, but also
I think
why?
she's like sitting on a dock.
Oh yeah, I've seen that, and everybody's like photoshopping in their players, like team mascots on Instagram. SZA.
So yeah, I'm way behind.
Yeah, they're like they photoshopped in Bowie, the Seattle Kraken's mascot, on the edge of the board because they beat, I don't remember, somebody. And yeah, she's from St. Louis. Okay, that's fine.
That
like,
sense.
I think that's cool. She's taking something that's like culturally unique and different and like bringing those worlds together,
rather than doing like a Cardinals jersey or something that's like,
like, I support that album cover. There's been a handful, again, research not done here now that we're talking about it. I think there's probably been a handful of artists who've been photographed or been in music videos wearing a hockey jersey for sure. I mean, obviously we've seen Drake in the Danbury Trashers jersey, and he wears his Leaf stuff and all of that. But has Bieber ever done a music video or photo shoot in a hockey jersey?
Yeah. He's always seen in, he's Leaf
seen
stuff
in it, but he's not made it like a point of.
I think the one video where he like did like the Leafs like theme song or whatever, he was in it.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of music videos, to be honest.
I don't either. I miss the good old days of MTV, TRL.
I was just thinking about like the VMAs. Like, I used to love watching the VMAs, and now I'm like, I couldn't even tell you when the VMAs are on.
I couldn't tell you a song SZA sings.
I couldn't either, and that's not trying to be offensive towards anybody, but I just listen to country, so.
Me too. That's all I listen to. Do you know who I've really, really become obsessed with? And I don't know if we talked about it on air or not, but Lainey Wilson. Is that her name?
She's my favorite.
I know. We talked about this. I think it was off air.
To see her in 2 weeks.
I know. I love her voice. Girl has got pipes. I think I told you this too, that she sounds like Dolly Parton to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love her voice, but it's a little more deeper and raspy. Big fan. But also couldn't tell you what she is.
Yeah, this season of Yellowstone, they wrote a character for her, and she sings, because all of her songs are like in Yellowstone, which is super cool. She plays a character called named Abby, and she rocks it. She's just herself and plays her music. She has her accent. She's freaking stunning. She's a rock star.
Does her talking voice sound like her singing voice?
Kind of, but she's from Baskin, Louisiana, so she's got a thick accent. You can't even understand her. I know you don't go on TikTok, but go on TikTok and find her. She posts the funniest videos.
Okay.
And she's got like this giant butt, and so like everyone like always makes comments about her dumpy, and it's just her last video was,
why are we calling it a dumpy?
That's what she calls it, and
no.
She made a video and she goes, yo, I keep going on TikTok on my For You page is covered with my big butt, but I don't care how you get here. I'm just happy you're here.
I'm like realizing my love for her, and I need to like now become a fan. Like I don't know what she looks like. I
You
haven't watched
should.
Yellowstone yet. Like I've got to
I'm
get into
obsessed
the
with her.
world.
I'm
Yeah.
completely obsessed with her. She's I'm pretty sure I would I'm gonna probably die when I see her. She did when Yellowstone first came out, like the first episode of season 6, she did a TikTok live stream and she's like, I'm nervous, I gotta go make myself a drink. And she like didn't do it. And so like I commented, I was like, where's your drink at? And she was looking, she goes, Breezy said go make myself a drink. Breezy, don't tempt me with a good time. I fell over. Straight up, I fell over.
Oh
There's
my
your girl
God.
Lainey.
Oh, she's
Look at her butt.
beautiful. I mean, she's got a butt. Yeah.
Yeah, she's freaking
Yeah.
she's stunning for sure.
I will not call it a dumpy.
Not gonna call
Like
it a dumpy.
if that's her words, that's fine, but it's worth something
Big,
better than that sound.
absolutely. Big Lainey fans here.
Love
Big
her.
Lainey fans. Yeah, and
Here's something
I
that
have
I
a
am.
VIP.
Yeah,
I have
tell
a
me.
VIP thing for her. So I get like a private like acoustic set before her real set. And it's said that we get a group photo with her. So I'm really trying to like sneak in there and be like, can I get a pic? I'm not a pic taker, but I'll take one with Lainey. Actually, I just kind of want a hug, so that's fine. And I'm not a hugger either, so that says a lot.
You're obsessed.
I know. I'm the worst hugger. I'm like, what do I do?
I was trying to remember when you hugged me when I last saw you in person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what constitutes a good or a bad hug, but it was fine from what I can recall.
I gotta work on him because I gotta be the best hug Lainey's ever gotten so she can remember me.
That's true. I wish you could bring her like one of your special cocktails, but obviously they won't allow that in. But
I know.
wait a second, there was something. When is the women's hockey game that you're going to?
Monday. So when this comes out, it would have been last
okay.
night.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll have to get a recap on the next episode.
Yeah.
We'll get a recap. Okay.
And I recruited 2 more people to go with me. I now have a total of 7 people.
Hell yeah. Look at us doing
know.
things for the sport of hockey.
There we go.
We're bringing people to games. Ray's not
Bringing
getting
people to
pucks. Breezy's obsessed with Lainey. We're good.
It's a great day to be obsessed with Lainey. Just saying.
Her music is beautiful. It's soulful and beautiful, and
It's so
I love
good.
it.
It's country. It's good. She's got great songs. Listen to her new album. I know you're not like you're a radio kind of gal, but
I will
download Spotify. It's free.
I got the Spotify. I'll listen to the
Perfect.
album.
Yes.
I will. Got a heart like a truck. I wish I could sing it.
I know. I don't even know what my favorite Lainey song is.
I don't know. She's got a lot of them.
Oh, there's so every song.
Here's one more hockey thing that I want to talk about. The last one I think is boring on our list, and I'm not going to talk about it. The NHL Winter Classic Plaza. It's like a free 2-day fan festival if you're going to the Winter Classic. So cool for all of you people who are going. Heads up, you could go do that for free. The NHL is working on a fan code of conduct for next season. And I'm a little worried.
What does that even mean?
Exactly. So they're in the process, the league is in the process of devising a uniform fan code of conduct that will be in place next season to ensure the safety and enjoyment for all fans, and basically teaching people at the arenas how to handle conflict, I think, in the stands. I don't know what that is going to conclude, because if it's anything like my experience at the Maine Mariners game, where they kept saying over the loudspeaker, no cursing, no cursing, no cursing. I think a lot of hockey fans are going to have a real problem. And if I get thrown out of a hockey game for saying fuck, I'm also going to have a real problem with that. It's like, I'm going to argue again that this is not a family oriented thing. I think it is family welcoming, Like it's welcoming, but like we're not turning this into like Disney on Ice. Like that's
I'm
not
thinking it
what's
has to
happening
be like for like fights that break out. Like there's no reason
with the
why
fans. Yeah.
like people should be, you know, throwing fists over the score or a chirp here and there. Like you're going to a hockey game, you know, you're going to hear chirps. Like you don't need to get that offensive. You also probably don't need to be drinking as much as a lot of people do to want to get defensive like that. So hopefully it's more along those lines.
I would be fine if it's that, but I will
Yeah.
continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates.
I was like, is there going to be a dress code? Because that's just dumb.
That's what
I'm
I
like,
thought too.
I don't like going to places that have dress codes. Like I'm not a fancy person.
I know. I was like, a uniform code. I thought that immediately made me think dress code. And
Yeah.
I mean, Summer
When I saw
Arenas.
that, I was like, uniform code?
Well,
What?
don't the Preds ban the away team's jerseys when
No.
it's in the playoffs? Yeah.
I
You
think
couldn't
they don't
wear.
necessarily ban jerseys. They ban ticket sales outside of certain area codes because they're trying to get people
It's
to
fine.
buy
The
so they
locals. I
don't
get
like
it. Fine.
resell. Yeah.
Fine,
And I
fine,
think
fine.
every team's like that actually.
I'm pretty sure I remember one year during the playoffs between the Preds and the Hawks,
Hmm.
they put a full on no opposing team gear was allowed in the arena.
Interesting. I
I'm
know
gonna
that they
have to
do it for
fact check.
Yeah, I know they do that they do especially for like Hawks fans because it's like a popular when I took it was like an Uber ride. We had asked the lady, we're like, yeah, like we're big hockey fans, like have you ever had bad experiences or whatever? And they said that whenever the Hawks come to town, it gets crazy because Blackhawks fans are super passionate and they come in crowds.
Yeah.
And they take up all the hotels, they take over all of the bars, like it's crazy, which is good.
Yeah.
But I think because Nashville's such a popular place for like fans to go to watch their team, especially like St. Louis, Chicago, like the nearby ones. I think that the Preds have to put a limit like on like what zip codes like certain amount of ticket sales can go to ensure like the home team fans can still get in, which is good and bad because like if you're traveling you want to be able to like buy tickets, right?
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know,
fine.
maybe I'm just
That doesn't
whatever.
bother me as much. So,
I
but
mean,
you
I
know.
don't think you can ban like that's like saying you can't wear a white t-shirt inside of, you know.
I mean, I know Staples Center has a dress code. Like you can't wear certain shirts with like profanity
Mm-hmm.
or offensive imagery or language, which okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. Like
Yeah.
that seems fine. Like this isn't the place for, you know, that. But like I walked in one time to a game and the guy and the girl in front of me, he had I don't even remember what was on the shirt, but the guy was like, yeah, you can't wear that. You can put it on inside out though. So he like literally had to put his shirt on inside out to wear it. He was like, I thought I would be okay with it. It was something kind of funny, but also inappropriate. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Well, I mean, I think about like my Morgan Wallen shirt. Like, I obviously didn't wear it on the pod because we have
right.
restrictions here, but like he's just like doing the double bird. But it's like I've worn that out in public, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be wearing this in public. Like, but that's just like a double flip. But like it doesn't really matter. It's just like I also feel like I'm pretty respectful to everyone around me. So
You are.
I just think that's just I don't know.
It's fine.
We'll see. We'll see how this fan code of conduct goes next season.
We'll see. In the
Yeah.
meantime, try to be nice to each other, even if it's opposing teams. Try not to
Yes.
throw fists at everybody when you're in the stands so that we don't have to have some ridiculous fan code of contact.
Exactly.
Let's go for that.
And what else are we going to do? We're going to go check out our blog.
Yeah.
Go read on that. We have some links in there. You can also, what else are we going to talk about?
We got a holiday gift guide. If
We
you're
got a
still
holiday
looking
gift
for
guide.
last minute gifts,
We do.
check that out. And I think we're going to take next week off because it's Christmas. And I
It
don't
is
think
Christmas.
we want to record an episode on Christmas Eve.
Correct. Yeah, we probably aren't going to be doing that. We'll probably take next week
We'll be
off.
back
So
the following for New Year.
yes, we will. And you guys have a great Christmas or happy holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas, and a good New Year if we don't talk to you, but we will talk to you. So just remember, we said it first.
Thanks for coming over to our House of Hockey podcast and hanging out with us. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. And in the meantime, you can follow us on social media. Just look for House of Hockey podcast. We'll be back next week.